Warm greetings to everyone. With God's guidance and support, we all are assembled here on one platform but from different parts of the world. Today is our third episode of our newly introduced show, Unheard Stories, the True Intellectual Warriors. Our guest of the day, Ms. Jayasree Dutta, has already joined to share her stories with us. But before that, it's time to know about our organization and the spirit behind it. HEADS, Harvest Educational Transformation Solutions, registered with MSME, Government of India in May 2017, ISO 9001 2015 certified. Another progressive turn with the launch of HEADS Pratishta India Trust NGO Foundation in 2021, where HEADS aspires to empower women, children, and people across all genders, academic dropouts through education, develops knowledge, skill development, educational and corporate training, improving employability scope, assessment, and counseling projects. HEADS is an education consulting and service company exclusively dealing with end-to-end education service provider pan-India. Our team works with our educational institutions in planning, developing, and managing educational institutions that meets their vision, mission, and goals. HEADS has more than a decade of experience setting up and running schools and preschools across the country. Transformation can happen only through focus and passion apart from learning, teaching, and leadership. The true spirit behind such transformations is none other than Dr. Aruna Vadkar ma'am. Dr. Aruna Vadkar ma'am is the founder and managing director of HEADS, Harvest Educational Transformation Solutions. She is the founder and chairperson of HEADS Pratishta India Trust and resource person of Indianka Learning Private Limited, Britannica. Also, she is the advisory board member and mentor of Mount Literacy School and the advisory board member and counselor of Green Eden Public School. Along with all this, she is also the president of WICI, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry for Karnataka Training and Development Council. So now, for everybody is waiting, we'll start the event and meet the guest of the day, Mrs. Jayasree Dutta. Mrs. Jayasree Dutta is PhD History and Political Science. She is a very renowned educator of Faridabad from last 32 years. She is very senior SST teacher who always motivates students to learn social studies with new and interesting strategies. She is very polite and a caring teacher. So not wasting much time, let me welcome her on the screen. Hello ma'am, I am Rasleen Kaur, Overall Coordinator of HEADS Youth League Association. I'm 12 years old. Dancing, singing, writing, and knowing more about intellectuals are my hobbies. Today, I'm here to know about you so that we can learn something from your experiences. Dear ma'am, getting to know so much in-depth experience, we would want to know what thought made you choose this profession?
Thank you, Justin, for your such a warm welcome. And thank you, Anurup ma'am, to inspire me in each and every platform of my life. And your question is, what thought made you choose this profession? Actually, from my early childhood, I have inspired through my teachers, the first mentor of my life, that is my mom. And the second thought was the great educationists like Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. So in early childhood, as everybody start to play like games and teaching profession, but I was inspired with two noble profession. One is medicine and one is teaching. So I was confused what to choose. Either the medical profession, nursing and all. Then when I have seen lots of people around me, like if you look at the poor people, they don't have any resources, they don't have good teachers. So my society has inspired me to do this, choose this profession. So that is my realization. And if you tell me, whenever I have seen Rabindranath Tagore's any drama, any kind of literature, his thought about the uh, contemporary and clashes between the modern teaching method, he has inspired me a lot. Thank you, Jasmine.
Wow, that was so insightful. Moving further, according to you, how you define teaching?
According to me, um, teaching is, it has three phases. If you look at our being a history teacher, again, I have to go to these phases of history. There are three phases. One is ancient phase. Yeah, if you can tell the old thoughts, old school, that is the Guru Shishya Parampara, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara. That phase is a phase that everybody knows, like Aruni, Eklavya. But after that, another phase was there, spare the rod and spoil the child, where gurus, they used the types of things to pressurize the children. But that was the second phase. And third phase, that is the modern phase. A teacher is a friend, philosopher, and guide. And I believe, as I have worked along with Dr. Unheard Kaur, and whenever we have talked about that, and I can still remember ma'am has introduced a SWOT. That is the four phases, how we can implement those things on the children, not just like the spare the rod, spoil the child. That is friend, philosopher, and guide. So teacher, if you think about the teacher is always inside stories are there. And I always inspired by a very famous quote by Swami Vivekananda. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. Yani ki already we have that thing inside our soul, just we have to inspire the students. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm amazed with your wonderful answer. But I'm really interested to know, are there any limitations when it comes to teaching?
If I talk about limitation, teaching, teacher, teaching, these are very new words. If we look at the Plato, Hegel, and Aristotle, we have to look beyond that. There is no limitation actually. Teacher and teaching, these are very correlated thing. If we look at Jasleen, you are very young, Rasleen, you are very young age, but whenever you will you will grown up, please read the all these stories about the Hegel and Plato's and our very inspiring stories of Nai Talim. Nai Talim is a word which was used by Mahatma Gandhi. That means a school where do something along with your study. That when we will come to know about NEP, very recently government has started. But actually the base is that Nai Talim. So if you look at yes, I will tell some limitations are there. That limitation is socio-cultural limitations. because of this, uh, division of labor type, in our society, there are certain limitation. If we look at the ancient time, there was the restrictions and limitation of the casteism. At present, if I look around my society, there is some limitation of the monetary or the socio-economic background. Otherwise, uh, strength-wise and intelligent people are around all over our country and world. Just we need to give them guidance. That is the limitation. Maybe some infrastructure, but around the world, all the people are trying to cope up with those things. Thank you, Jasleen.
Really a true message for all of us. Next, I would like to ask, was the pandemic learning to all the teachers and the students?
Yes, pandemic, COVID-19, pandemic was, I don't know how, it was a shock actually for all the people, young to old, everyone. If whenever we take education, we always think our contemporary education or everyday's education like school, colleges. Beyond that, there are some more educational institute like professional institute and other basic institute, like those people are not going to school, they are preparing themselves to go ahead. Like the child who was 3 plus, but he couldn't go to school. He couldn't get that education. So lots of problems were there, but somehow some blessing was also there. Some people could stay with like some basic natures, basic rules of home. They couldn't understand. These 2 years have taught so many uh, basic rules of the families, old things of the values of the families, which was totally unknown by them. And the most important thing that people like our generation, we have learned lots of technologies. During this pandemic, we came to know. So generation by generation, we never had this kind of phases we didn't face. Some people, they face that economic problem. Some people, they face the socio-economic problem. Some people, they migrated. And I really felt very bad for those people, those who were migrated laborers. But thank God and thanks to the people of our country that hand to hand we have helped each and others. Being a teacher, I can remember some of our students, they have faced, even some of my students, they have lost their parents. But the time I know how we came together, that was a challenge, and really we have overcome those challenges. Thank you.
Very true. This shows the true spirit, and I'm sure everyone will agree to it, and it is going to be helpful for everyone. Next, as we all know about the NEP 2020 being introduced, would that be a benefit in the education system if implemented?
Yes, very true. And I want to share one very good thing that recently, or not recently, last year, I got a prize because I had joined in an MUN where I got the best prize for this NEP. The topic was NEP, and I got lots of training on this NEP. And the best thing is that in NEP, I said, earlier that Nai Talim was the basic thing of this NEP, where the dream of Mahatma Gandhi was that a person should work, basic things he should know. Maybe that child is not very good in like our paper education. Yani ki you have to give some certificates, very good result to get in your university. Maybe in between that child wants to become a dropout because of his family's economic condition. NEP is providing such kind of circumstances, such kind of facilities where a child can also continue his life after even leaving those either the professional education or our academic qualification. So NEP is providing, giving that space for that particular child. So NEP, why I like these NEP's basic things, like when I teach, especially I'm giving a very simple example. There is a very simple, there is a chapter that is Mesopotamia. So how we have started making the Sumerian script. So how that child will know? First, he or she has to prepare a tablet. So things are, even if we go to the circular of NEP, we don't need to purchase huge materials to prepare the models. Whatever basic things are available, maybe from kitchen, maybe from all the waste material, they can prepare some model. In 2-3 ways, the child, we are preparing that child. Number one, his interest towards the art and culture, group work, and how he is preparing himself or herself for academic future. So NEP is giving both the things. If that child is very good in carpentry, maybe that child want to become a fashion designer, no problem. Earlier in our society, some profession were given as the taboo. If the child want, either they will become doctor, engineer. So this kind of, or architecture, these, that, but this kind of taboo now it will not become, it will not exist. In geography, that is a very good, terminology is there, that is sustainable development. I think NEP is, in the terms of education, it will be like a sustainable education system. Okay, thank you, Jasleen.
It's really fantastic to see the combination of emotions and practical knowledge. Proceeding ahead, can all the children learn the same way being taught or need to imply different ways to mentor?
Every stories of my children, of my student, they have inspired me in my path of this teaching and learning. It's not this one way thing, both the way. Teachers and my students, I really thankful to God that in these phases I have got students like them.
Very beautiful.
Thank you, Jasmine.
With the amazing conversation with you, we would want to know what is the inspiration behind your success?
Behind my success, the inspiration is my family, my husband, my mother, and all my family, whole families. And if I say actually my students, today also in audience, I can see my students are there, they are joining one by one. So they are my old student actually. Even some of them are very old student. So I can connect them. Some of them, they got married, even they are continuously, we are keeping good relation. So that is the inspirational. I can say that only through one person I got inspiration. The inspiration is on the whole, my family, my husband, my students, everyone. Even my former, all my, under whom I have worked, my all principal, my all seniors. From everyone, I have learned something, from every person. Thank you.
Your words are truly inspiring to hear. Thank you for sharing these motivational words. Last but not the least, any message you would like to convey to our audience, teachers, and students?
Yes. Thank you, Rasleen. My very true message, that is always be honest, do hard work, and keep faith on you. Nothing is impossible for you. If you set your target, God will help you to do that. Thank you, Rasleen. God bless you. Thank you for your nice and wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm blessed that I got an opportunity to know so much about you. I'm sure this is going to inspire many of us. Thanks for sparing your time and sharing your unheard stories with us. Now, let me invite my mentor and Chief Management Officer of HED, Unheard Kaur. She's having experience of more than 20 years in the field of education. She has received many awards. To name a few, our Best Principal Award, Harvey's the Nurturer, Guruvarya Saman 2022, Inspiring an Iconic Woman of the Universe 2022, Best Principal Award 2021 by Global Talk Education Foundation. Ma'am, may I request you to come forward for the vote of thanks? Ma'am, I would like to request you to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, Rasleen. So first of all, I am really thankful to both of you for your wonderful conversation. So family, it's great to hear. And on behalf of Het's family, I express my gratitude to God for this wonderful conversation from which we are learning by sharing our ideas. After the completion of this third episode of Unheard Stories, the true intellectual warriors, for this wonderful initiative, I pay my heartfelt gratitude to the founder and managing director of HETS, Dr. Aruna Vatkar. Due to some reason, she is not with us, but she always keeps us inspiring. This move is definitely going to inspire many of us. I'm thankful to our guest, Mrs. Jayasree Dutta, for sharing her stories with all of us. I am obliged to all the other members of HEADS for their unstinted support. Last but not least, from the bottom of my heart, I'm thankful to all the audience present here. And I would also like to share that we will hear many more stories from all over the world in the coming weeks. Those who are interested in sharing their stories, kindly contact us at 951 301 9990, or they can call us on another number too, 951 308 8990. And do not forget to join us on next Saturday to hear another great intellectual warrior. Thank you, everyone, once again. So now
Thank
we are
you,
going to
ma'am.
stop the recording.
Thank you, Rasleen.